Okay, so you don't have time to waste, and I don't want to waste your time. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this sprite into a glass with ice, and we'll start talking immediately. Wonderful. I'm going to go just from first to last. It's going to be really easy. So ABD is C tier. And the reason ABD is C tier is because the percent damage bonus only applies to the base damage that comes with the characters. It doesn't apply to any upgrades that you do or anything like that. So if you pop open while you're in game and you see a character's base damage and then the number above is green and it says plus, it is only doubling or 130%ing or 160%ing whenever you have ABD at. Excuse me. Whatever level you have ABD at, it's only increasing by so much. Um, it's only 100 something percenting the base damage. That is incredibly helpful when it comes down to, you could say, something simple like just pushing to level 70 because it gives you a flat damage increase, but it doesn't scale. There's no scaling involved. Big Hands, I'm giving a solid D. There's just other characters that do it better. Coinman, I'll give an A tier. If you have the economy built up, actually, because of that, if you get lucky enough that you have a lot of economy, Coinman rocks. And Coinman goes incredibly hard because the damage scales very, very, very well. He's not really worth upgrading, but if you kind of RNG your way into 8,000 coins, if you get 3 Coinmans, you can clear normal pretty well. Of course, you have to have some support, but that's like everything else. I would say that the Biker Goblin goes with the Coin Man. They're kind of hand in hand, so it makes sense that they're in B tier. D tier is never touch. C tier is extremely situational. B tier is as many upsides as downsides, and that's where I believe Coin Man and Biker Goblin fall. They have just as many benefits as they do downsides. S tier, Ice Knight. Literally literally nearly damn impossible for most players to clear without the Ice Knight. Every time I play with someone who doesn't have an Ice Knight and I have to drop 2, they always throw me the thumbs up because they don't have the Ice Knight, and I know it's because they don't have the Ice Knight because the Ice Knight is awesome. Ice Knight goes incredibly hard. For the whirly gig, I'll give him a C tier because I can see some situations where you might want to move your spawns, but me personally, I just spawn things where they need to go and re-roll because I think ahead or I can eco my way into a better position. Um, that is what it is. I mean, whatever, you know. The Ninja Cat, I will give Ninja Cat an A tier. It is better more often than it is not. A good leveled up Ninja Cat, currently as of 1.1.1, currently a good leveled up Ninja Cat is just, ooh, just a nice, good, strong carry. I, I mean, it doesn't do the percent damage that the Oni does, but the mob clear on it is awesome. And so for that reason, I'll give it an A tier. S tier, Mimic, there's nothing that needs to be said. It goes incredibly hard for the just the just the stones and the coins. Oni, S tier. Absolutely S tier. Can't live without it. Love the Oni. I think that the percent base damage is what's going to carry the first set of players through hard. I don't think that you'll see a hard clear soon without an Oni. So if anyone is clearing hard at the moment, which I haven't seen any proof on Discord or otherwise, if anyone's clearing hard at the moment, I don't know how they're doing it, but it is probably with the Oni. This is controversial. This is probably the first controversial opinion. Phantom Slime is A tier. And the reason Phantom Slime is A tier isn't because it just does good damage. It has good mob clear. The reason Phantom Slime is A tier is because if you look at the relic gives magic stones at a % chance when Phantom Slime gets a kill. It's so good. It's unbelievably good for eco because it almost nullifies the use of the mimic. If you have a Phantom Slime and a Biker Goblin, yes, it does take up 2 slots, but you get raw damage and eco in 2 forms to build out the rest of the team that you need. It's amazing. I love space, but I have to acknowledge that space is very limited. Once there's one space on the board, there's no reason to have another space. I think for these, there is always a reason to have another one, right? And at a certain point, these don't make any more sense to make another one. Once there's a space on the board, making another space is absolutely pointless, but the first space that can stack will carry incredibly hard. It scales with the relic on a % basis per kill, and I've had spaces reach nearly 1,000,000 damage in addition to their base, so I think space can do incredibly well. The mouse, controversial opinion, it doesn't suck that bad if you upgrade it a couple times. The mouse can absolutely 100,000,000% carry you in normal from wave 40 to wave 70. If you get an early mouse and don't opt for space, the early mouse, if you do that straight off the bat instead of re-rolling for space, can allow you enough eco to get into position that you need to carry with your goated ones here. That being said, here's your next goat. Absolutely, 100,000,000%. The Witch Doctor is a necessity for people to clear early on. And the Witch Doctor with the mouse goes incredibly hard, and if you get 2 Witch Doctors and a level like 3 mouse, you can absolutely push to wave 80 with the mouse, and then ride off of % damage from Onis from there. It's awesome. I would say that Scaladuck, or Scalluck, I believe, is B tier. There are as many situations where he sucks as where he is awesome, and if you go Scalluck, right, you're saying I don't want any Coinmans, and if you go Coinman, you're saying that you don't want any Scallucks, right? So you're trading between these two characters, and Scalluck has a better chance of higher. Scalluck has this risk element where you can have a Scalluck hit level 15 straight off the bat with a very, very, very small % chance, and it will carry you into wave 100 on normal. By itself. Easy. It's awesome. Couple Witch Doctors and you're doing great, right? But if you have a Scalluck, you're consciously saying, I will never want to purchase a Coinman. So that's why B tier is the equal reasons to get it as not to get it, is because you're trading 1 for 1 if you do these. The Drake, the Wyvern, the whatever this is, I'm going to put this at a B tier. It is aight. It's not bad. It has really good boss damage. If you're trying to clear wave 40 on hard, which is where a lot of people are getting stuck right now, in the 1.1.1 update. So if you get the dragon if you get the dragon before wave 40, it is 100% like totally useful for clearing wave 40. If you can't get the skeleton archer roll into ACB, then the dragon's your next best bet for just raw boss damage. The raw boss damage is awesome. I do really think that it works, and the skill on it of blowing up on every 3rd attack does okay for mob clear, but you kind of need 2 for mob clear and 1 for boss clear. Nat Guard, A tier. Absolutely A tier. If you level up Nat Guard to any reasonable amount, then you can turn off lanes with a relic, right? Like, I'm assuming you have the relic for all these. You can turn off lanes for like 4 seconds and like just absolutely shut down lanes for 4 seconds. And like if you put a Nat Guard to the left of the cross, so here's your T. If you put the Nat Guard over here, then it's in range of your entire teammate's line, and it keeps the enemies between the two, or still in your lane but within reach of the enemy's line. Destroyer, S tier, absolutely S tier. The decision to keep Destroyer or go Mimic is so difficult for me because if I get 2 Destroyers, I know I can permanently stun lock bosses. Permanently, 100%. They do not move. Destroyer is amazing, and the fact that it is straight from just a Demon God rule is awesome. For my friend Draxar, I like the character design, but I hate using him in any way. I don't feel like I get enough return. Every now and then he comes in clutch with some mob clear with his 5% chance to insta-kill, but it just doesn't do enough for me. Same goes for whatever this dude's name is. The Mage Orc. I think that he kinda his boost for attack speed within a range is awesome, and the 50% boost to attack damage is also awesome, but it kind of applies like ACD, ABD, Ancient Blue Dragon, where it only multiplies the base damage by 50%, so, it's 0.5 times base plus. It can help us space snowball, which is really important. So oftentimes before I put my Ice Knight below the cross, I'll put my space at the top of the cross and try to get my little Mage Orc here to help my space farm, and it'll speed up the process a lot because oftentimes I'm fighting people who don't understand that the space needs stacks and that the space can really carry the game. They won't build eco, they'll just run straight into developing what they think they need to carry, but you know how that goes. For the Maniac, B tier. So I think that the Maniac has good boss clear, but it takes a while. So you have to put the Maniac in a central location. And if you don't put the Maniac in a central location, then it just doesn't feel like the overheat ability gets enough time to spin up to actually chew through bosses. But I have cleared wave 40 hard with 2 Maniacs. I got lucky and one targeted my teammates and one targeted mine, and they just went ham. And it does work, it does happen. And the Executioner's Goggles, if you kind of keep one Maniac around late game, it can help clean up some of the hanging mobs. If I roll a Maniac in normal at like 105, I'll just let it ride. That way it can clear up some mobs for us. That way the Onis don't get distracted. And then the Skeleton Archer. D tier. This thing sucks. I think this thing is terrible. I don't think that it justifies the price. If I roll a Skeleton Archer on my first Supreme Doom Dawn, I kind of get upset. I mean, it does damage, and with a relic it shoots 3 arrows or whatever, but it's not worth it. Anyways, I hope you loved my ads, and this has been my 1.1.1 tier list. Nice, easy, clean, simple.